Well, Chris, you are so well known in the fitness world and beyond, and it's a thrill for me to be here with you one-on-one. Thank you so much for taking some time to talk to me.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's talk about sleep. Obviously, big proponents of exercise, eating healthy, but where does sleep kind of fit into the whole equation of our overall well-being?
Well, I think it's probably the most overlooked part of our physical well-being. So we talk about eating healthy, which I'm a huge proponent of, and we talk about getting exercise, which is important, but that third component, which is often overlooked, is getting a good night's rest and recharging that human battery. And I think we forget about that being as important as the other two components.
Absolutely. I mean, I know I suffer terribly if I constantly don't get enough sleep. But again, some of the effects, just to kind of generally talk about it, what happens to us when we don't get enough sleep, basically?
Well, you can open any newspaper and read about studies of health problems with, lack of sleep. But sometimes people don't relate completely to that. But on a daily basis, let's talk about some of the things people feel. Brain fog, not getting as much accomplished as they'd like to, being moody, forgetful. People will tell me that, well, they're head bobbing, and so if you're lacking energy and you aren't recharging your battery through sleep, then people tend to turn to those things called calories that we tend to overeat, and then people are gaining weight from lack of sleep. So there's a lot of things that, a bad night's sleep or lack of sleep can cause.
It all goes together, absolutely. All right, also I know Beautyrest did a survey, kind of found out about how we're doing in America when it comes to sleep. To me, it doesn't sound like we're doing very well. So what can you tell us about the survey and some of the information?
Well, 73% of Americans are not getting enough sleep. So we decided to analyze social media, though. Look at it from a different perspective. Instead of a survey where you say, ask yes/no questions, we decided to analyze what was happening with, for instance, Twitter. We analyzed over 5 million tweets. And people talk about their feelings and what they're thinking and what they're doing on Twitter. So we analyzed keywords and time of day and behavioral habits. We looked at Google searches. And so we took all of that data, analyzed it, and came up with the 30 cities that we considered needing a charge, needing to be fully recharged. And surprisingly, some of the bigger cities were on that list, number one being Las Vegas, which, is maybe unexpected. Chicago, New York, big cities. But some small cities were in there too. And so I think it speaks to the fact that across our country, people need to be recharged. And, okay, Laura, do you plug your cell phone in every night? Do you plug your computer in?
Yes, I do.
So
absolutely.
We're very focused on getting that fully charged electronic, right? So think about your body. At Beautyrest, we say recharge the human battery, and think about it like plug in and live your life fully charged. That's our goal, to help you with that.
That makes good sense. And speaking of helping us with that, what kind of tips can you give us as far as, getting recharged, plugging in? How do we do that when it comes to sleep?
Well, it's really important to analyze your sleep environment. And again, like I said, I think this is an area that people overlook. They walk around and talk all day about how tired they are. I mean, I don't think a day goes by where someone doesn't say, oh, I'm so exhausted today, or I need some caffeine, right?
Yeah.
But then they don't really go to the source of the problem. So look at your sleep environment. First of all, do you have a lot of background distraction? Do you sleep with all your electronics by your ear? Do you have a TV going? What's the noise? What's the light like? Is it a cool environment? What kind of mattress do you sleep on? All of those things play into the quality of your sleep.
All right, good to know. One thing too I have to ask is, battle of the sexes when it comes to sleeping. Who's doing a worse job, if you will, sleeping? I think I know the answer, but just want to know.
It's an unfair world.
Right.
Women tend to complain more about lack of sleep and have more sleep problems. Some of it being the kind of lifestyle that we lead, some of it being the fact that we tend to be caretakers. We've got full-time jobs, commutes, parenting, a lot of stuff on our plate. The other issue, hormones, as we're changing and as we're aging. I know a lot of women hit that age where they go, gosh, I'm sleeping less or not as soundly. For myself, being in the fitness industry, I eat healthy, I do exercise, but I have some low back issues, and I started having trouble sleeping, and then that light bulb went on, and I thought, aha, what about my mattress, which was already too old, embarrassed to admit. And by getting a new mattress, I realized that just that sleep posture and the way I felt, it really did make me feel different. I felt so much better in the morning.
Yeah, that makes good sense. And also, you mentioned a fellow fitness lover here. If we sleep better, we're going to work a little harder too, get better workouts in, right?
Well, I'll even tell the people that I work with, when I have had a chronic several days in a row where I haven't gotten a good night's sleep, my workouts suffer. I can tell I'm not feeling right, and that's when I will choose sleep over exercise, because I'll say that battery needs to be recharged. So I can't emphasize enough to people that as you're eating healthier and as you are exercising, don't overlook the sleep component. It's a really important part of living your life to its fullest.
Sounds like a good plan to me. Okay, if people would like some more information, Chris, about the survey, maybe if they're in one of the sleepless cities,
yeah, if you want to know if you're one of those top 30 cities, go to Beautyrest.com. We're going to have all the survey information there. We're going to have great tips and information about better sleep, and a lot of information about our Recharge sleep system, which is a really awesome sleep system. So don't take your sleep lightly.
Okay, well, hopefully we'll get some good sleep after this and learning
on
all
it
this.
for a while.
Exactly. Chris Freytag, it's been a pleasure having you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.